All right. As I finish my ice cream. Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger's Art. And welcome back to another Sunday night streaming. Sunday night art streaming, to be precise. It's my garbage can. Anyway, so now anyone who's watched my videos, my live streams especially, during October knows that I tend to do the Inktober challenge, which is the daily inking. You know, it's usually some people do digital ink. For me, I like to try and do like traditional to force me to practice my skill of not messing up and just going with the flow. It's you do it every day of October using prompts from a particular website. I believe there's an account on Instagram specifically for the Inktober challenge. But it's already October 3rd and there is no inking. I don't know if I'm gonna try and do. To be honest, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna try and do catch up or just skip it this month. There's a lot going on this month. Today I was spending time with the family. This week I'm doing Comic-Con, which might make me exhausted to actually paint in the evening. I don't know. But we are still doing artwork, as you can see. So, bear with me on that. I'm not too sure what the outcome's going to be for Inktober. I was actually having a discussion with my good friend, Pretorius Rex. There's a lot of people who do various versions. So in May, there's a challenge where you draw a different type of mermaid every month based on prompts. I saw one guy talk about OC-tober. I don't know if it's something he just made up when he said it or something that's kind of slowly building up in the art community, where you draw one of your OCs every day for a month, or you draw that one you pick one OC. Let me rephrase that. You draw a different OC every month, and not everyone has an entire month with original characters. Or you choose an original character of yours and have them be the spotlight. That sounds interesting. I don't know if I might even try that. We will see. But with that said, let's pick up where we left off last week with pins. Alright guys, so these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 character pins I have finished sculpting and priming. Refresher. We have, let me make sure I can see what I'm looking at on my my camera. Come on now, camera, focus. There we go. So we have a grumpy Cyclops, a hairy Snaggletooth demon with big curly horns. We added a grotesque face, a pimple with his tongue hanging out. We have the first guy we did with the big scar going down his face, and then we have a spider I finished. I do plan to do at least 3 more, so I want to see if I can get 8 of them. I already primed them with light foam. That's going to be, the filler, rather than cover the entire thing in clay and weigh it down. So we have what's going to be some kind of insect guy I have in mind of. I have an idea I want to do skull kind of face. I got a bunch of these curving pieces, which may be either magnets or maggots or like a snake. I'm going to have curving in and out of the skull face, not sure yet. And I'm not too sure with this one. I'm thinking of doing like a kind of the typical Japanese ghost kind of face. I forget the name of it, where she has like her hair covering one side of her face. And so I just put this googly eye in there as a stand-in for her actual eye. But now we're going to focus on these. And also these pins, I've gone ahead and I've Gorilla super glued some really, really strong magnets in the back of them. So these, I said super glued, but that came right off as soon as I said it. Look at that. That will be re-glued. But the idea is they'll double as magnets for your fridge and as pins. In fact, you know what? I need to put some glue on this right now. And let's jump into painting. I say we start off with the fleshy Cyclops. We're going to start off with that guy. And before I re-glue onto the ugly face, let me there. I'm putting some striations, some cuts into this metal, so the glue to hold on to. That is very weird that like supposed Gorilla Glue, the great glue, just came right off. The good thing about using magnets, gluing magnets onto something that is metal, is that you don't have to actually press it down hard. They do the work for you. Okay, let's see if that sticks, because we're going to do a fleshy face and a fleshy face as well. But this guy's going to be... These are the two fleshy faces we're going to work with. So let's do the Cyclops. I have this mix I did way back when. It's going to be a mixture of acrylic and airbrush. A mixture of acrylic and airbrush paint. These have all been primed already. So let's see what comes out. It's a little pale, add some brown. So this was a mixture of like water, I think airbrush paint. No, this was acrylic paint. So I'm going to mix some airbrush brown into this. Here we go. Let's start with that. Let's see how well this paint sticks to this primed. There's something about trying to do skin tone. Whenever I try to do it, it just either comes out too watery, or the character comes out too milky. Like I have, when it comes to like Caucasian skin tones, it just never comes out very well. So we're gonna approach this the same way I do I do like most of my smaller sculpture work. It's the quick paint approach where you just like lay down some flats. You lay your flats, and then you I'm blanking out. Sorry. You lay down your flat colors of whatever they are, and then you go back and add some washes for the shadows and some dry brush for the lights. Like, it's really simple. But I will try and do some more nuanced shading on these as well. Oh, that looks nice. That does look nice so far. Like all the small patterns I did in the flesh, because I just couldn't get the wrinkles I wanted. Just working it turned into some really good wrinkles. Okay, so he's a start. I definitely want to go lighter on this one. So we'll go lighter with the ugly face. So I hope you're all having a good start to October. Like I said, I usually do the Inktober challenge. I don't know, I just feel so tired this year, and I was like, oh, I don't have time to get into it. I've just been thinking of conventions and things like that. But I really want to try. So we're gonna try and do that. This is really watery. I'm trying not to get too much of it into all the little. He has all these little pimply, garbage pail kid kind of like freaking. They're not freckles. They're just like holes in his face. he's very light. He's a lighter color. I think I'll add some like blush colors to his face. Speaking of which, where's my bed? So I got two shades of red. I always have the light red and the dark red. As per usual, you can't see it, but my work table is an absolute mess. Okay, let's take some of this pre-made white and mix it with the red. Not really white, it's like a off beige color. Paint that uvula. Uvula? Can I have to say it correctly? This one has this nasty pimple. Paint that while the pinkish skin tone is still a little damp. Yeah, look at that. It kind of bleeds into it just a pinch. White I have is super thick. So just stay on, weekly topic. Just keeping up with what's going on in the world. I think Amphibia just dropped its new season. I have to admit, not a huge fan of Amphibia. It's not that I don't like it or find it bad. I just it has a much more, in my opinion, lighthearted tone to its comedy. Like its comedy, it's definitely a quote unquote kid show, which yes, they still manage to put in a few adult themes into it. Like at the end of each season, something crazy always happens. But I've never been I don't know. Just it's a show that's a bit too silly. That's how I put it. The show is actually just a pinch too silly for me to like watch it religiously. But I still appreciate like the good things about it. And I know they just dropped the new season. They've been hinting at it since like with clips since I think San Diego's online Comic-Con, whatever they call it. At some point they hinted at it. Hinted at a few clips. And yeah, it was a fun little premiere. I saw the premiere and I was like, yeah, that's cute, that's cool. And I have to admit that the animation and the design of the killer robot frog, I don't know what name they give it. I don't know what name the fans gonna give it. I don't know what the creators gave it, but I love its design, especially its more like like snake-like arms and stuff like that. It's cool. Nah, that's a bad idea. Get rid of you. Yeah, this mix I have is way too watery. It gets everywhere. Way too watery. Gotta fix that. Got big, kind of like rosy cheeks. Things kind of like spittle all over the place. Just spit everywhere. Let me that dry a bit because yeah, like I said, this mix I made is way too watery. Okay, we're gonna mix some of this pink with this watered down brown. That's it. There we go. I want this guy to have lips that kind of stand out, like pinkish lips that stand out. Once again, this mixture, this brown mix I made is way too watery. It just doesn't want to. I mean, it'll dry real quick now that it's out the container. But kind of gets in the way. But yeah, there you go. It's better. Look at that. That kind of yeah, I think I mentioned it last time when I first sculpted it. That kind of mobster, stereotype of the big full lips. Yeah, Muggsy, yeah. Should I just give him a big yellow eye? I definitely want to give this guy. I want to give this guy a yellow eye. I think I should just give this guy a reddish eye. With a little bit of a white eye with red around the edges. A little bit of pinkish red. A little bit of bloodshot kind of look to it. I like that. Put some white on that pimple. Put some white on the teeth. Mixing a deeper red with the mixing a deeper red with this pink to give them to make the taste buds stand out. Okay. These guys are quick. Like the flat colors are quick, and then I'll just do a wash on top. I was hoping to have some, as I was saying the music, setting up the music, I was hoping to have some spooky music, but I don't think I need to make a new playlist for spooky music. I don't think I have a playlist that I'm really happy with for spooky music that's long enough to take up the entire runtime, especially since I'm sitting in a location right now where it's kind of hard to run back and forth and reset my equipment once it's ready to film. This playlist works fine, but it's not, seasonal, as they say. Just gonna give him a big, solid black iris and pupil. Same thing. For now. Now, while we still have these softer tones out, these fleshy color tones, let me get off magnet, get off. Let me do some fleshy tones that belong on other figures as well, like this guy. This guy has all these fleshy bits around his mandibles. I figured we'd do him while we're here. I'm happy with each of these in my own little way. I'm happy with the way the spider came out with the large mandibles on the side and it's his fangs right here. I don't know. They're not really these. I guess these are mandibles. Or these are fangs. These are like I don't know. The smaller hands. Are they called mandibles? Or the mandibles strictly like the mouthpieces? These are the mandibles then. This predator looking face. Once again, the washes will help getting all the fine details. Once again, while we're dealing with pinks, get everything we can. I'm thinking of making this guy. So I'm going to make him greenish. I'm thinking brown hair with like green tints, green fleshy bits. Not fleshy bits, good green tint, like a mossy kind of hair, like Moss Man or something like that. And just a little bit of pink on the inner nose right there. A little bit of pink in that nose. I think I should do the same over here for this guy. A little bit of pink on the inside here and there. When I say a little bit of pink, I mean like more reddish pink, that is. There we go. Red just around the fangs, which are going to be painted over anyway, but just on the edges where the fangs meet the flesh. Here we go. Okay, in terms of basic flat colors, he's going to stay like that. He's going to stay like that. Once again, I'm thinking browns, like a deeper brown for this, blackish gray for this guy, obviously, kind of like a, you know, like a wolf spider, kind of darkish black gray. I'm sure someone's gonna say wolf spiders are brown. I know. Can't have too many browns. Too many browns so far. Okay, let me get a better brush, one that can fit the grooves on this guy. That's really dark. Maybe a little bit of yellow with that brown. How's that look? Still a bit dark for my taste. Pinch of white. You know, yeah, you know what? Let's put a pinch of this. Now let's mix it up. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And like I said, we'll add a little bit of. I want to add some like mossy green on the edges of the fur to help like define it a bit different. I don't know how well that comes off on camera, but that brown definitely looks nice. It's not too dark. If I paint over the teeth now, it's not a big deal. I'm going to paint them white later on. Have to be Dante, readjust. I'm hunched over as I paint this. I'm trying to stay straight up for you guys, for both my sake and the camera's sake. So my question: what plans, if any, do any of you have for Halloween, or just the month in general? You know. The Halloween parade has been canceled. I think now is this the second year, or was it? I'm trying to think when COVID overlapped. I want to say this is the second year. It's second year. No, we're entering about 2 years now. But with that being said, I'm trying to think when the parade was canceled the first time. The New York Halloween parade, because they have not said a word about it just yet. I mean, we're in October. We think that we'll already be talking about it, but they have not said a word about it yet. But I have a feeling we're going to get yet another cancellation. If any of you watch my YouTube channel, you'll notice I spent Halloween. I spent the month of Halloween pretty much trapped inside. But the spirits that be let me run loose. Couldn't do much, but thank you, spirits of Halloween. Go check out that video. I was discussing, my friend and I, Romina Sotorova, Miss Sotorova and I were discussing uh, the message that all artists have. By you ever see someone take a photograph on Instagram of like their workspace, and they're like, "Check out my new." That's the photograph they take when they've designed a brand new workspace. But if they do traditional work, trust me, it within a week it becomes a complete piece of chaos. Everything around us, outside the camera, is complete chaos on my work table right now. But it's just enough space where I could like mosey around and grab some stuff and paint some stuff. So right now, as the brown paint is still a little wet, I'm just mushing this green into it, trying to get like a natural wet blend. Yeah, that was nice. Not so much that you lose the brown, but you can see the brown and the green. Just there, haha, that looks nice. I also, to make sure I didn't lose the green, I added some yellow. So it's like a yellowish green that's mixing with this brown. Does that come on? How well does that come off on camera? Let me see. Yeah, you guys can see that, right? Right. Let that dry let that dry up a little bit before I start adding, before I start putting the white back in the teeth. Come on, freaking white paint. Like I said, super thick. This is airbrush paint and it's super thick. Okay, so I'm going to do some broad strokes. I'm going to paint this guy a light gray. That way when I do his eyes black, it's not a big issue. He's a light gray. And then when I do the wash, that'll darken it up. Then I can always go back in with actual white if I want to like really show highlights. Anyone got arachnophobia? Anyone absolutely terrified of spiders? There's a game that came out called Grounded. I think the alpha or the beta or whatever made this run a good number of months back, because for a while everyone was playing it. and it was quite literally Honey I Shrunk the Kids, like the game. Like someone watched Honey I Shrunk the Kids and was like, I'm gonna make a game off of that. Not saying they did, not saying that they were like stealing ideas. It's like that's the feel I get from it, which is nice. Like it's it's you play literally as children, stuck in a backyard due to what appears to be experiment gone wrong. Once again, it was in beta, so the storyline mode was a little missing bits and pieces there. But I'm gonna say right now, just watching people play it, the beta definitely needs to fix the issue with the spiders because the moment the moment they spot you, they aggro, and once they aggro, they don't leave you alone, and they kill you instantly. Like the spiders are definitely like high end villains, but like in the game, like you need to get lots of armor and stuff to fight them. But they're like walking around from the very start, so good luck trying to avoid them. But anyway, there is apparently like different modes in the game called Arachnophobia mode, where you could adjust how quote unquote scary the spiders are. So they make the spider, if you adjust it, he only has two legs. If you adjust it, he only has like one leg. But it makes him look creepier because now you have these floating orbs with teeth in them. So it's like they look more alien than spider, but it's still freaking creepy. These are going very well. These are also going very well. I want to have a mixture of colors: gray, darker skin tone, lighter skin tone, the brown. We can have a nice vibrant green for this guy right here. Once again, we gotta really let these dry before we can do like the washes and stuff. Part of me did want to paint this guy yellow to make him kind of like a twisted version of the smiley face. But I'm like, nah. I've seen really cool versions of twisted smiley face logos. So I figured just make him a miscellaneous goofy creature. Once again, he does have this one in particular has kind of the Madball, 80s Madball kind of vibe to him. I think just people with ugly faces not having a good time. I don't want to make his lips reddish. Cause red and green actually messes with people's like eyes half the time. I do have a darker green here, just to give him a darker. Yeah, give him some darker tones right now. The wash is still going to be a basic black wash. They're all going to have this basic black wash, but like I want something to like define what's what on his face. So I'm sure somewhere in a past video I've mentioned this color theory or color science, whatever you want to call it. So red and green, granted there's different shades of red and green, of course, but red and green sit opposite on the color wheel when you're painting, which is why if you have a red dot on a white piece of paper, you stare at it and stare at it and stare at it for a while, like don't blink. Then you close your eyes, like get tired, like let your eyes get really tired. Then you close your eyes and put a blank white piece of paper. You will see a shadow image that is green of that white dot, like a ghostly image of that green, because essentially the part of your eye that lets you see green lets you see red. It's like a little thing inside the back of your eye that has colors. Each one has a different color. Each one shares a different color. So if you have red and you have green, the more you're staring with red, the red begins to wear out. Like you get weaker. And then when you blink, you get this shadow image of green left behind. It's like your eyes like seeing the opposite of it because it's just the way we're physically built. Of course, I'm super simplifying as to why that happens, but essentially that's what it is. Your eye just can't handle looking at that much red, and when you blink, you end up seeing the opposite color. I just smushed all that dark I just put on. Come on now. But that is why people who are colorblind, it's not that they can't see colors. There's that certain colors meld together, and the difference between red and green is usually the issue people who are colorblind have. Okay, so he's a bit too wet right now to like really lay down that flat color. But let's see. Okay, so we have the horns on him, his white teeth, this one's eyes, and his fangs. I haven't pulled away from the camera for a minute because I'm just trying to get. So basically, he has no eyes. It just if you tilt it, it just goes to nothing. I'm just putting in some black in there. I mean, the wash is also gonna get really good in there, but I just want to really. There we go. Start that off. Okay. I want to do solid black for those eyes. Let's do. You know what? Let me grab the light gray I already have. Let me do the eyebrows on this guy. With the light gray. Come on, freaking brush. There we go. Yes, I'm just giving this guy light gray eyebrows because he has a lot of ridges in the eyebrows. So when I do the wash, it's going to soak in there and really darken them. Oop, and I realized I painted his face as if the eyebrows are connected. They're not. I forgot he has a little wrinkle. He has a wrinkle in his eye. Yeah, this screen's really watery, so I might need to come back to it. But for now, let me get that little almost butt indent he has in his eyebrow. So I'm gonna let this guy really dry out before I do some fine detailing. Should I just give him... Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this gray, darken it a pinch, and do his horns. Do this guy's horns like a grayish color. So I'm going to switch over on my secondary device. I want to see, once again, Picardo. No, Picardo. I just want to see what's going on my channel. Alright, there's no chat going on in Picardo right now. So let me switch over back to Twitch. So as you can tell, I usually go on for these wide, big spaces with a wider brush. Then I'll take the smaller brush and do the smaller detailing areas. I don't want to mess up this guy. I'm really happy with the brown. I'm really happy with the brown and the green on this guy. I don't want to screw that up. Where's my fine brush? Cause she fine. Okay. Go. Okay, and the horns are a little dark. They'll probably get even darker once I add the wash, but like I always, because the horns have so many ridges on them, I could dry brush and get a lot of nice detailing off the ridges. Okay. He's good. He's going to need some highlights to really pop out those horns, but he is good in my opinion. Once again, I'm going to go back for the white afterwards. Once this guy dries up really well. I don't know if I... See, he's going to have green splatter coming out of his mouth. That's everywhere. I don't know if I want him to have the splatter after the washes. Like it's just gook all over him. Or do I do the splatter first? But either way, let me just... The same yellow tinted, yellow and brown I used on the hair for our demon guy, I'm going to use on this guy's lips. Like a lightish brown. Light-ish, it's not super light though. There you go. Ah, my my rag just stuck to my elbow. Okay. I probably could use this dark. You know, I probably could use this darker gray for the fangs on this guy. Oh, no, you know what? No, screw it. Fangs are gonna be white. Why not? Doug, why am I thinking of giving them dark fangs? Why am I thinking? Wait, people, why am I doing that? Why am I being stupid? Making super good headway here. At this rate, I should just use the white acrylic. I don't know why I'm using this white airbrush and it's giving me so much damn trouble. I have white acrylic. I should just use flat white acrylic. Oi! Where are you? Look at this chungus. Haven't done acrylic painting in a while, like straight acrylic painting on like, you know, on like a canvas. Haven't done that in a while. I'm not sure what I prefer. White acrylic is good because it's, white acrylic. Acrylic is good because it's very forgiving. You know, you don't like something, give it 2 seconds, it'll dry, and it's done. But I find, unless you find like really good acrylic paint, whatever that is, because everyone claims that, you know, a different brand is better than another brand. But when you're working with acrylic, it's hard to get that blend unless you really water it down. So it's hard to get it to blend. Oils blend like butter. Oils are like Prismacolor pencils. You know, they blend beautifully. But you know, it just takes a little longer. But sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you have an idea what you want to do, so you just let it really work up. And they say, you know, you can layer oil paints more. Like oil paint has like a little like thickness to them that's different than acrylic. Acrylic just kind of goes on flat. So acrylic is good. You could do amazing things with both, but I'm always kind of torn on what I want to do. I never used acrylic a lot. Okay, I never used oil a lot because, you know, I used to have, when I lived with the family, back in the family home, family home meaning, you know, when we all lived in one apartment, I just couldn't because we had pets. So you couldn't just leave oil out. You know, you couldn't just leave it out without dust, and not just the pets, but I live in the Bronx, and you know, air quality is kind of iffy here, in my opinion. You get dust in the air and everything. You gotta find a space to put it. And in my case, I lived with, you know, for a while I lived with my sisters, then my younger sister. Then it's just like, where do you put it? Well, no, it's not in the way of anyone, especially big paintings. But what really pushed me not getting into oil was school. Yeah, it's one of those situations where the teacher kind of killed it for us. So I get it. Oil painting takes time, obviously. But if it's your first time doing oil painting, sometimes you just want to jump into it. Nope. Teacher was like, we're going to do one topic. Pick one topic. And that's going to be a topic throughout the entire semester. And halfway through the semester, people just didn't want to paint anymore. They didn't want to paint that one thing anymore. And the best experience I had was when the teacher called out. And this is college. So it wasn't like we had a substitute teacher. Just out of nowhere, we were like, "Yo, let's get a model." And this one model came in, and we just right there and then we all just grabbed like some spare wood. Rather than canvases, there was like a bunch of spare like cheap wood that were like in the, that we could use for like painting and crafting projects. And right there, on the spot, I did a 1 day oil painting of this model. I did her in blue, in shades of blue, rather than deal too much with color, trying to get the skin tones. And that was the most fun I've had in oil painting. Just get it done, get it on there, and you can always go back to it later. And that was great. Yeah, I lost interest in the actual painting that I was assigned to by the teacher. I just lost interest after a while. I realized there's a lot of shadow being casted by these freaking bottles. Like you cannot see. There we go. That we can now actually see on camera what we got here so far. Where's my fine brush? I want to do the teeth on the green guy. He's gonna have yellow teeth. Teeth on big boy here, right here, and then once I've used this brush for all the white I need, I'll then switch to darker. Because nothing worse than like using a brush for something dark, and then when you try to switch to something light, the brush is not like as clean as it could be. Now, I know what I said earlier about red and green, but this guy is going to have a red scar going down his face. I just don't want to have a big red lip. Big red lips, because then I feel that'll be like too much. Okay, very careful now. That brown is still wet. Shoot. Semi-wet. You could probably cheat it. Nope, that tooth is wet. The other tooth wasn't, so. Okay. God, it's like a tiny, tiny singular tooth. I gave him that little middle tooth. And I regret it. Give me a second. I gotta take it away from the camera. Sorry, guys. It's not a toothbrush. Come here. Well, not my toothbrush. My toothpick. A little bit of white got in a weird spot. There you go. Had to wipe it off. Yeah, he's giving me trouble. Gotta let that watered down brown dry up. But I can right now do the yellow on I'll do the yellow on the green face dude. And then we'll do the black on the spider's eyes. Once again, this playlist on YouTube is quite literally called 500 Non-Copyright. Let me see. The exact title, NCS. NCS. You'll notice it because the logo is big NCS with a big colorful, multicolored ring. That's the icon, and it's yeah, five, like it says 500 non-copyright songs. I will admit, I think partway through, like after like 4 hours or so. So not this stream. The next stream, I'll probably have to jump ahead in the videos, in the music list, because somewhere in there was one particular song that Twitch caught last time I did a stream. Go. Just digging out some of the paint from that little slit I gave him in his eye. You know what, speaking of which, let's try something. Yeah, using a little toothpick. Toothpick with a little bit of water and dragging that for the scar. Yeah, rather than try and like actually use a singular. I mean, if it bleeds out a little bit, that's fine. If it leaks on the edges, that's fine. But if I use the brush, it would be everywhere. That looks good. Okay, once again, we're gonna wait for this teeth to those that lots of liquid brown. Before we go back for the teeth. So the eyes on this seem pretty good. Let's grab my really thin brush, and let's do these spider eyes. You know what? Let's mix. Should I put some red around the edge? Let's put some while his eye is still a little wet. Similar to what we did with the Cyclops. Let's put a little bit of red in there. Mix it with that yellow. Yeah, mix. While it's still wet, like really mix the yellow in there too. Yeah, there we go. Bloodshot. Put some more yellow. It's a bit much. I'll let this dry a bit, and then I'll add some. I'll let it dry, then backtrack with some more yellow again. He's not having a good day. Okay. I'm gonna go solid black for the spider eyes. I always put little white dots in them afterwards, but I do want to go solid black for that. Okay. I was kind of tempted. Only slightly tempted to leave him with googly eyes. If anyone knows any good spooky playlists for this season, for if and when I start doing Inktober. Post it down below, people. Post those video links down below. Sorry, I had to pull it away from the camera just to get really close to one of these eyes. It's a little better. There we go. I usually watch little snippets here and there of people who do like D&D miniatures, and I don't know what camera they're using. I don't know how they stay always right in frame. It's like, how do you do that without having to like pull it close to your face to see all the details? Ooh, that gloss looks nice. Ah, look at that. Especially with the little gloss. I'm thinking when I do add a little white dot, should I add a white dot in the corner to represent shine, or should I do a slit in the eye? Cause it's not an actual spider. So I can always fudge a little bit on how the eyes look. Just trying to add more yellow back into this. Freaking, I got caught on something when I dropped them. Kind of worked. Some of the excess color fell off. Ooh, that bled. That bled way too much. Shoot. Oh well. We'll go back into the eye. That bled way too much. So I tried to put a little bit of black, and it just got too watery and went everywhere. Once again, just trying very so delicately to get some white on that teeth. A little bit of brown swirl doesn't kill it. But yeah, I think once again add more yellow to him, correct that face, correct that eye. I think these guys are pretty much primed and ready to go. Damn, should I add? I don't know if I should add the green first. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna splatter the green everywhere. Then do the wash. See how it looks. If I don't like the wash, if I don't like how the green looks with the wash, I could just always go back and just do another layer. Just grab some green and just do it. That's it. We're just gonna splatter this guy with some. Oh, the black was still a little wet, so we got some. We got some. We got some black and green going on. That I like that. Blah, just everywhere. Oop, nope, I dipped it into the black that time. That would have been too much. It's like you always hear about the artist who dips their brush into their coffee by accident. Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right. So, come on, yellow, yellow. There you go. We'll let the wash seep into that cut in his eye. Not try and color it. Just drop it right there. Some white spots in his in his greenish, grayish, not greenish, grayish eyebrow. So that's because you can't expect the wash to get everywhere, so it's good to try and literally cover your bases, cover all the spots. Once again, another coat of that dark green. There we go. So like, they'll all get a wash, a blackish wash. They'll all get that, right? Then I'll go with lighter colors. I'll do yellowish on the green here. I'll do the more pinkish on him. I might do even more whitish on this one. On this one, I'll definitely do whitish, some white or light gray on the horns for the wash. Hopefully I won't lose too much of that green. If that after this guy is the most blended, so he's going to probably get some good detailing for the dry brushing, and this guy's just going to get once again dry brush a light color on lots of that gray. Speaking of which, here we go. Realizing my tablet's not plugged in. Un momento, everyone. Let me just, you know what, in the meantime, let me zoom in for a sec. Be right back. Okay, so even though doing these streams, like all streams, in a way you plug in your own merchandise. You plug yourself. You plug the game. You sometimes what's the word I'm thinking of? The word I'm thinking of is sponsored. Yeah, sometimes sponsored to plug what you're sponsoring. So it's plug. And I'm plugging these guys. I'm thinking I'll be selling these for $15 each. Yeah, $15, hand sculpted, original, hand painted. Like it's original. These aren't just copies. And even stuff I do that are copies, like the resin copies, like that takes time and material to do those resin copies, which is why they're also usually 15. So these guys are 15, right? I need to dry my hands. So plug, and I'm going to continue plugging, and I'm going to show you guys this. Let me zoom back out a pinch. Should I zoom back? I should zoom back out a pinch. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so these are what I call my sci-fi dossiers. So these are slightly works of old Inktober artworks, primarily the ones dealing with like mad scientists. And I've turned them into like dossiers, things that happen in the lab that has to be documented. File A49, file B76, file C38, and each one has a little like commentary in the bottom, like code name for the file itself. Code name is a new union member, no smoking allowed, and sleep tight. And I won't go into the full detail of what the writing says, but essentially, I'm cutting these up. They're about 3.5 by 8.5. No, 3.5 by 7.5, I believe. Let me see, 8 by because this is a 8.5 inch. Yeah, so these are 3.5 by 7.5, give or take. Like this, a nice cardstock. Nothing super hard, but a nice cardstock. I'm gonna be selling these at HorrorCon, Brooklyn HorrorCon, once again, 23rd and 24th of October. So you could use them as like bookmarks, or you could, just as individual art pieces. Don't know the price I'm gonna sell them for yet. I don't know what I'm gonna sell them for. Not gonna be too expensive. These are small pieces of artwork. So I'll probably sell them at a smaller price than I did my bigger stuff. But yeah, so I'll be selling that as well, and I'll also be selling these guys along with the completed, the skull with some kind of snake-like creature spinning, crawling in and out of him, most likely. I definitely want to try and I did the spider. I gotta do a fly. I gotta do a fly. Yeah, so be on the look for that. And let me see. Ooh, I just realized I got some green. Got a lot of green on that white of the tooth. I don't know if you can see that. Got some. You got chocolate in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. There you go. There we go. Right, just slight correction before the washers hit. Speaking of which, I'm taking this really watery light brown and just fixing the edges here. A little bit of that white paint bled over. Alright, so where do we stand here? It is way too early. I'm not gonna be doing washes on these guys. It's just gonna bleed everywhere. I need that to dry. I need to let it dry. Some of this is wetter than some of this is much more wet than others. It's 9:34. Like I'm really happy. I got pretty much once I wash them and it's a whole nother step. I'll probably do that off camera, wash them and then do the dry brush. But once that's done, that's done. These guys are done. So I'm thinking we could probably cut it short today. 1.5 hours for a stream. Cut it short. I don't know if I feel like I want to jump into doing some sculpting work. Let me clean my brushes. In the meantime, I clean my brushes and I'll ramble. Bounty. Well, it's not Bounty. Whatever. It's some paper towel that works well enough. Might be Bounty. I don't know. But yeah, so Season of the Witch. It is October. Samhain. I'm going to say Samhain, knowing full well it's technically pronounced slightly differently. But yeah, Samhain. And I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween, man. It's Halloween, for crying out loud. So the bad news is, like, the convention, HorrorCon, actually lands on the weekend of my friend's birthday. I have 3 friends whose birthday span I'm not going to give you the exact dates, but it spans between October 20th and October 25th. I have 3 friends whose birthdays span that course right there. And we usually, clump it together and hang out together whenever possible. But I'm going to be doing a convention. I won't be there that weekend, the 23rd and 24th. Which I feel kind of sad about. But I will find some way to mingle with my friends, some way to get back in there and say, hi guys. But as for Halloween itself, which lands on a weekend, freaking COVID, man. Freaking COVID destroying everyone's lives in multiple ways, both socially and, their actual physical lives. But yeah, I was really hoping at least to go to the parade and walk around, just to get out. Maybe I would summon one of the spirits of Halloween. I was thinking of summoning the spirit of Halloween that let me out last year, when I got trapped inside my bathroom for about 2 months. Go to my YouTube channel. It was weird. But yeah, I kind of want to dress up, with the demon pig with the horns. I want to dress up as that again. Oh yeah. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna call it. Yeah, let's call it. We're not gonna touch these right now. Let them dry. Let them do their thing, and then we will return. We shall return to this at a later date, maybe next week. Once again, I want to get these done ahead of time, but maybe next week. You will see the final steps of this. Hopefully, I have it all done before that, though. But yeah, so let's wrap it up. No more jibber jabber. So, guys, here are. Let me zoom in again. Zoom. Here are my ugly monster face pins. 3 down. Pins that double as magnets, so they'll work on your refrigerator as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. 3 to go. And I hope to have these ready for, once again, Brooklyn HorrorCon. Check it out, people. Go check it out. Go check me out, please. And yeah, this was fun. This was very fun. So without further ado, once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.